Welcome, folks. I am Jabby Kaway, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
We are watching The Batman Pitch Meeting from Pitch Meeting's YouTube channel. You guys, if you haven't already, you should subscribe to Pitch Meeting. They only have 353,000 subscribers right now. They have a separate, discrete channel for all of their pitch meetings going forward. So if you want to, get notified every time they drop a new one, you should definitely subscribe to their channel. There's a link in the description below for the video we're about to watch. Click on that, give the original an upvote, subscribe to them from there.
So, you have a new Batman movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. And I'm thinking we make this the darkest Gotham yet. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. We're gonna make it seem like this city passed some kind of weird one light bulb per household law. Sounds very dark. You know it, sir, because we gotta make these movies darker and darker and darker and darker. That's just good business. How do you figure? Well, sir, we keep going like this, pretty soon people will pay to see a completely dark screen, and we could play some kind of Batman audiobook or something. Oh, that will save us a ton of money. Yeah.
I've actually thought about that. Like, how do you go any darker than this? Because the film is so dark as it is. It's very neo-noir, very shadowy lighting. I'm like, how do you make it any deeper than this?
It's called Batman, the Pitch Black edition.
The Pitch Black edition.
So who are you thinking for Batman? Oh, I was thinking we get Robert Pattinson. Oh, I see what you're doing. Twilight, vampire, Batman. Very clever. Actually, no, it's just because he turned into a real good and accomplished actor since the Twilight movies. Good time? I'm enjoying myself, sure. Never mind. All right. So anyway, as Batman, he's gonna be dark and brooding, right? Okay. But then as Bruce Wayne, he's gonna be brooding and dark. You need that dichotomy, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna have dark eyeliner and hair in front of his face and say stuff like, "You're not my dad," like it's 2006 or something. Nice. And this guy's Batman suit is totally bulletproof. I mean, bad guys just unload machine guns onto his chest and he's not affected in the least. Wow, so I guess his mouth must be covered too, right? Otherwise they could just aim at that. No, that's completely exposed, but nobody's gonna shoot at that part. Why not? Because that works.
That's
so who's
right.
he going up against?
While we all think that, like, how come no one shoots at his face?
It's easier to shoot at a chest
Yes.
if the area is larger.
When you're trained to shoot at targets, the body's a much larger area than anywhere else.
Yeah, unless
So-
you're like, super sniper skilled.
Which
then,
none of the henchmen are.
yeah, unless he goes up against someone who, like, that is their superpower.
Right.
Oh, several bad guys, sir. The main one of which is the Riddler. Oh, that guy riddles, sure does, sir. So he's going around killing corrupt people in power and leaving little riddles for Batman. Oh, I bet he is. So then throughout the movie, Batman's gonna look at these riddles and then solve them pretty much immediately. Nice. But sometimes he doesn't solve them immediately, and that means he's gotta go stand on a rooftop with Gordon or Catwoman for an extended period of time. That makes sense. So he's gonna start digging around Gotham's criminal underground, right? Getting to know the sketchy figures and stuff. Who are we talking about here? There's friggin' Carmine Falcone, and then there's the Penguin, who's Falcone's right-hand penguin. Oh, we got Penguin in the movie. What's he gonna do? He's gonna be like, "Hey, oh, what are you doing?" A very Italian-American flightless bird. That's right, sir. So obviously I was thinking we get Colin Farrell to play him. What? Yeah, just cover the guy in so much makeup and prosthetics that even after people Google it, they're still like, really? All right, I mean, I guess we could do that, sure. And so eventually Riddler's gonna attach a bomb around the neck of this corrupt DA and send him to a funeral of the mayor who he also killed. Uh-oh. Yeah, and this bomb ends up exploding right in Batman's face. Oh, he didn't know it was gonna blow up? No, he did. There was a clear timer on it, so. So he didn't take cover? Not even a little, so he goes flying backwards. Wow, well, I guess that's gonna hurt the exposed bottom of his face. Not even a little, but he is knocked unconscious. Ooh, that's gotta be a pretty severe concussion. Nope. So then the police bring him to the police building, where you bring injured people. So they unmask him? They don't.
They tried to unmask him, firstly.
They did, yeah.
But when he took that bomb to the face, when I first watched it, I did think he took that explosion right to the face. And it's not as if he didn't know it was going to explode. Yeah. However, upon second viewing, and even in this little clip that they showed here, I noticed he was covering his face. I don't know how I'm not a physics, so I don't know how that works.
I mean, presumably if his outfit is made out of like flame retardant or bomb resistant material, then if he puts his arms in front of his face, then maybe he would kind of protect it.
I have no idea how any of that stuff works. I'm not a pyrotechnic expert or anything like that. Like, if you're blocking your face, I imagine the fire still goes around your arm and stuff like that, firstly. But if it all happens really, really fast, like, how much damage does it do? I don't know. It's one of those things I just sort of let go because I loved the rest of the movie, so.
Then he manages to escape by gliding off the top of their building and smacking into a little bridge thing.
I mean, that's gotta be a pretty severe concussion, too.
No.
Okay.
So then eventually Batman thinks that Penguin is this informant that he's looking for, right? So he chases him down and a bunch of cars and trucks explode. It's gonna look very cool.
Oh, wow, jeez.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy intense, but then turns out it wasn't him. You know, that wasn't the informant.
So all those people in the exploded cars died so Batman can follow an incorrect hunch?
That's right.
Whoops.
Whoopsie. And so later Batman's gonna have this conversation with Falcone, and Falcone's gonna be like, hey, did you know your dad paid me to kill a journalist back in the day? Did you know that?
Oh man, that's gonna shatter Batman's world.
It does. So then Batman goes to confront Alfred about this, and Alfred's like, oh yeah, no, that's not true.
Oh.
Yeah, it turns out the crime guy was lying.
That checks out.
Yeah, glad that was resolved. Resolved immediately, yeah.
So what else happens?
Well, eventually Batman's gonna figure out that Falcone, you know, the bad guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna figure out that he's the bad guy.
Right.
So he brings him out of this gangster club called the Iceberg Lounge, and when he's under this streetlight, Riddler snipes him.
Oh.
Yeah, and turns out that's exactly what Riddler wanted Batman to do, because earlier there was a clue about bringing someone out into the light.
That was referencing this exact streetlight?
It was, yeah.
Oh, very vague and also specific.
Yeah, because see, later Riddler's like, there was no way for me to kill that guy otherwise, you know? He's never out in the open.
Oh, okay.
Except for the very public funeral they were both at earlier in the movie. What? And so yeah, then Riddler's in jail and Falcone is dead.
Okay.
That's right.
I completely forgot that Riddler was also there.
Yes, yeah, he was right there in the second story.
Well, it's all a build-up. So.
Yeah. I mean, it was, it was part of his plan. He wanted him to come out to the light, that poetic justice that he wanted.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Okay, wow, sounds like a great movie.
Oh, we're not done, sir.
Oh, we're not?
No. It's gonna feel like maybe we should be, but we're gonna keep going.
Oh.
Yeah, see, Riddler actually kind of thought he and Batman were working together.
Okay.
And there's this whole other layer to Riddler's plan. Like, he has a group of followers online that he's been scheming with.
What's the plan?
Flood the city and shoot a bunch of people.
Oh my god, that escalated so much from killing gangsters and crooked politicians.
It did, yeah, because we gotta end these on big set pieces.
I guess we do, yeah. So how does Batman figure this out?
Well, see, Batman figures out that one of Riddler's murder weapons is this tool you use to tuck in carpets.
How does he figure that out?
Well, he happens to run into a cop who happens to start talking about how he happens to have an uncle who works in the carpet business.
Oh, very specific. Uncles are tight.
They sure are, sir. So now Batman looks under this carpet and finds the specifics of Riddler's plan.
Oh boy.
So now Batman's gotta rush to this arena and fight some Twitch commenters.
What?
Yeah, and it's pretty serious. They're in Riddler cosplay and stuff.
It doesn't sound too serious.
But it's gonna be, and Batman's gonna get a shotgun blast to the chest.
But he's got his completely bulletproof suit, right? So it doesn't hurt him?
Yeah, this time it does. So he's like, ow, 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 ooh, stop, ow, ow, ow. But there's still a bunch of cosplayers around.
Wow, okay, so I guess it's gonna be pretty tough to get out of that situation, huh?
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because see, Batman's got some green juice.
Well, like a smoothie?
No, it's like an injection, and it gives him a real good boost.
So what was that?
Unclear.
Oh, okay, well, good that he had it.
Definitely. So then he's beating up one of the cosplayers, and the cosplayer's like, my name is Vengeance, which is what Batman calls himself.
Oh, frickin' nickname stealer.
Yeah, so Batman kind of stops, and he's like, whoa, I guess I sure learned a lesson here today. Yeah. But then there's this big electrical wire flailing around, and people are gonna get electrocuted because there's water everywhere.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Batman selflessly cuts the wire and gets electrocuted and falls from super high up.
Oh my god, is he okay?
Yep. Oh, yeah, he's fine. So, okay, so good. Totally okay. So then he takes a flare and he guides a bunch of people out of this flooded area into, I guess, another flooded area, because, everything's flooded.
A very underwater Gotham.
Yeah, and then we'll tease a new Joker, because we kind of have to.
We kind of have to.
And then Batman and Catwoman kind of ride their motorcycles next to each other and kind of split off like it's the end of a Fast and Furious movie.
Oh, it sounds like a great movie. Wait, is it done now?
Yeah, 3 hours later, it is, yeah.
Great. Well, it'd be nice to have a good cinematic experience, It seems like everything is just streaming shows these days.
That's so true, sir. It will be nice. And then you know what we can do if it's a success.
What's that?
Hi everybody, Ryan here. Thanks for watching that pitch meeting, and welcome to the new Pitch Meeting channel. It still looks like YouTube, it's not that different. And if you hadn't noticed or heard, Pitch Meeting is on a new channel, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Unless you don't want to, in which case don't do that. don't do anything you don't want to do. But it'd be cool if you did, and I'd appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.
There's a lot of things he was pointing out where it's like, yeah, I did sort of wonder about that too, and I don't have any good answers. If Riddler's whole thing was upending the political system, why did he want to flood the city? His whole thing was about saving the people from the corrupt politicians, and then he was just gonna murder everybody.
Oh, to have a clean slate and to start all over again from scratch, perhaps.
Unless he just thought all of Gotham was corrupt in the same way that I almost said the Lolly-Lulelo. In the same way that, what was the group from Batman Begins?
League of Shadows.
The League of Shadows, yeah. Ra's al Ghul, yeah, there you go, thank you. Ra's al Ghul wanted to just upend all of Gotham. He's like, all of Gotham has to go.
Yeah.
They're all corrupt. All of Gotham's gotta die. So I'm wondering if Riddler's attitude was like similar in some capacity?
Yeah, maybe. Unclear.
Yeah.
as Ryan George would say.
Yeah.
Unclear. But it works.
That's what I was gonna say, was like, while I can't really fully articulate why Riddler did that, it did seem to work. And I suppose maybe the whole thing was the master plan of eliminating all politicians that are supposed to be filling that spot.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is with the flood, everyone has to come to that safety place, right? That's the safe zone. And so right in front of everybody who's coming into there for safety, they're gonna see her get murdered, the elected mayor lady.
Yeah, or I don't know if it was the safety spot, but yeah, it's definitely, I think he said something about it being like a high spot in the city, but I think a lot of people were already there. Either way, a lot of people were gonna see her die.
Yeah, people were already there, and then other people were being rallied into there because it's a safe haven, basically, for some odd reason. I mean, you have the rafters and whatnot.
Yeah. And generally, I think in a lot of cities, stadiums and stuff like that are places where people go.
So yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? It just wasn't fully articulated in the movie.
But I think once again, I feel like this is one of those things where, for a pitch meeting, it's harder when the movie is actually good and you actually like the movie to kind of pick apart little things about it. And so I kind of felt like maybe that was the case here, where it's just like pointing out a few little oddities or inconsistencies in the story or the filmmaking or whatever.
Right. With regards to the coincidence of the carpentry with the cop, I'm like, yeah, that was a big coincidence, and if Batman didn't have that cop there, he wouldn't have figured it out. But I think that a lot of things happen like that in real life all the time, so I don't hate on that in seeing it in the film. Like, Batman had the smarts to hear that clue and apply it to the situation, where maybe a lot of other people might not. Yeah, it's a big coincidence, but again, that stuff happens all the time in real life.
Life is full of coincidences.
Life is full of coincidences, and they don't overplay the coincidence card in the movie. With regards to the Riddler cosplay, like, while that's a funny thing to say in the pitch meeting, I think that it's way more serious than is being credited for in this pitch meeting, because online you can literally get schematics and whatever you want to a lot of artillery, to weapons, to all kinds of stuff, and it's like, it's full of, for all intents and purposes, it's full of dangerous information and access to dangerous items.
Yeah.
And, you know, especially with, obviously this is like a left-leaning agenda, so to speak, in the movie, but it's very easy to acquire firearms. I totally believe these people looking up all the information they need in order to take on the system. And
I mean, the internet is a breeding ground for a bunch of extremist groups.
Exactly.
Like, anywhere.
Exactly.
So that totally makes sense.
And so calling them cosplayers and stuff like that, while it's demeaning them, which is hilarious, I think it's a little bit scarier than them being cosplayers with firearms. Like, these people presumably, like, play with guns for fun and stuff like that, and they're like, you know, they're really deep diving into all this stuff that goes well beyond cosplaying.
Yeah.
But obviously he's making a joke. So
coming
back to his suit being bulletproof and whatnot, that shot of everyone firing at him in the hallway,
that was so cool.
I mean, yeah, it's unrealistic because it's like, at that close proximity, maybe you would shoot the guy in the face.
You're like, pow.
Yeah, maybe that's what you would aim for. But it looks so damn cool that I just sort of let it go. I'm not even thinking on that level.
No.
Because I'm like, that just looks amazing. It's frightening.
That was badass.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But he did make a good point about Batman falling down, hitting himself on the head or getting hurt a lot and being fine, generally. Like, no concussion. But once again, that's another one of those things that's like, you know, when you're watching a movie like this, you're not really thinking about that, because in a way they are kind of superhuman, even though he is human, you know what I mean?
But it's armed, and he's got that.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I feel like he's just trying to find something to make fun of.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But like when he did the dive off the building and he hit the bus and the bridge and all that stuff, I'm like, he wasn't exactly walking away, all hunky-dory. It's like he was limping off.
Yeah, but then you don't see the effects of that in later scenes, because I think if I fell down and like that and hit myself really hard, I'd probably be limping for a good few days afterwards.
He's younger. He's got that outfit, I don't know. It's
like, I just got a teeny tiny bruise on my leg. We're fine.
I'm not that worried about it. I don't want to.
No, honestly, I'm not.
I mean, it would have been interesting, I suppose, to see him apply that injury to the rest of the movie, but I didn't really care about that.
Unless he's taking that green juice at home or something.
Maybe. And I just assumed that was like an adrenaline shot of some kind. He obviously had like a...
He had like a little hole.
He had a hole for that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he obviously like was prepared for this kind of a situation because he's been nocturnal and whatnot, and he's got to figure out like how to keep himself like going.
Yeah, and he's by himself too.
Yeah.
It's not like he's got a team member who can help him out.
Yeah.
If he gets knocked down, he's got to find a way to keep fighting.
The part when Ryan talks about the guy, the cosplayer saying, "I'm vengeance," and Batman goes, "I sure learned a lesson here."
That was really funny.
That was probably my favorite part of the whole video, because just like, I mean, that is the turning point that provides him his arc in the story.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, he was sort of one kind of character. I don't know.
It's funny because he did mention that at the beginning of the video too, because he's like, what did he say? Like, he's dark and brooding, and then brooding and dark.
Yeah.
It's basically the same. Like, his Bruce Wayne is a moody Bruce Wayne, and his Batman is a moody Batman.
I think that
he hasn't found his Wayne persona yet.
If I were to argue on behalf of the movie, which I guess I've been doing, it's that while Bruce Wayne or Batman is uncovering all of this data over the course of the film, that moment where the guy says, "I'm vengeance," is sort of the straw that breaks the camel's back, because Bruce Wayne is holding on to this sort of this persona in this particular way up until that moment. And it's like he's getting all this information, like he finds out that, what the Wayne hospital or orphanage has been used for and whatnot. And it's like, it's breaking him. He's uncovering this information. He thinks that he finds out that his dad is connected to Falcone and all this stuff. And it's sort of messing him up. And when that guy says, "I'm vengeance," it completely just shuts all of that stuff down, and he goes into this new mode.
Right, because it's like, that's the wrong messaging.
Right.
That's not what he wants to be. He wants to be hope.
Right, so like, while I can see at a glance, it kind of looks like all he said was, "I'm vengeance," and Batman learned a lesson.
Right.
Like, that's all it took. I feel like it's a lot more layered and complex than that, but it is funny to kind of like phrase it in that sort of context, because it does appear like that at a glance.
Yeah.
So anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Do subscribe to Pitch Meeting's new YouTube channel. There's a link in the description below. You can click on that, give the original upvote, subscribe to them from there. Also subscribe here, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up, please, to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. I'm Jabby Kawai. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.